Medigroup Physician Services presents Medigroup's Frank's Fast Five with Healthcare Executives, produced by Bridget Wilson and Carrie Peters. Today's guest is Austen Wood, Senior Account Executive, Specialty Accounts for Provista. Now here's your host, Medigroup's Frank Gillespie.
Hello and welcome once again to another edition of Medigroup's Frank's Fast Five with Healthcare Executives. Today I have the distinct privilege to chat with Austen Wood, Senior Account Executive, Specialty Accounts for Provista. Austen, welcome.
Thanks, Frank. I very much appreciate the invitation to be on the Fast Five.
I'm honored you're here, no question about it. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. It's been a while since we caught up. And it has, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, before we plunge into our questions, I should let our viewers know that Austen is a recent President's Award winner with Provista. Congratulations on that super achievement, Austen. That is awesome.
Thanks, Frank. A lot of that credit goes to Medigroup. You guys had a wonderful year last year. The rest of the channel partners that I manage all had great years too. So it's been a good one.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for saying that. And honestly, the feelings are mutual. It's a great relationship with you and Raina and the team at Provista. So we're honored to be associated together. Thank you very much. So are you ready to dive into these questions?
Ready when you are.
Okay, here we go. Austen, can you tell me a bit about your role at Provista and your background in the healthcare industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Provista, I manage a group of our channel partners. We've got 3 folks on the team that manage the entire Provista portfolio of channel partners, and I've got 7 of those. It's one of the most fun jobs that I've done in my career. For sure. Been doing this for 4 years now, and can't really picture myself changing anytime soon. Get the joy of working with people like Medigroup and other great channel partners. You also get the freedom to get out and be creative, make changes on a large scale. So it's nice. And before I was with Provista, I was with our parent company, Vizient, on the contracting side. So I managed and negotiated national agreements that our members all take advantage of. It was on the purchase and support services team. So things like Office Depot, FedEx, Home Depot, those sorts of contracts. Did that for a few years. And before that, got my start with Novation, doing analytics. So I rose through the ranks, I guess you would say, and have seen a lot of the family of companies, and I'm able to put it together with the channel partners.
That's awesome. That's a great story. And really, it's somewhat familiar. I'm somewhat familiar with the same story on my side. As you probably know, I worked for Med Assets for 15 years, and then I always dabbled in the non-acute care segment. So there's some synergies there. That's really cool. I'm glad to hear your background. I didn't know all of that. Yeah. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. Okay, I promised you we wouldn't waste your time. We're going to go right to the next question. Austen, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of your role at Provista?
Yeah, I think the most challenging part of working with Provista is the industry we're in. Healthcare is extremely complicated, and it's ever changing. So you've got to be willing to be flexible. You've got to stay agile and nimble. And that's one of the big benefits of working with channel partners is we don't have to move the entire mothership to make big changes. We're able to pivot and interact where necessary, make changes where necessary, dive deeper or scoot back. So it's makes my job a lot easier working with good channel partners who can be flexible. But it is the most difficult part. It's the industry and dealing with all the changes that are ever coming, and they're completely out of our hands. You see COVID, legislation passed, the movement from acute care to non-acute changing paces. So it could be moving in really quickly at one point. And we've got to be able to change with those changes. So that's the most difficult part.
Absolutely. Great answer. And yeah, flexibility and the ability to change on a dime is extremely important. And when you're dealing with a diverse, various group of members as well, all with different needs, that makes the challenge somewhat greater as well. But it's all part of the job and all really fun. So I think we share that same thought.
Yeah.
Hey, next question, Austen. Provista provides its channel partners with a lot of tools that increase contract penetration and bring more value to the members. Could you share with the audience just a few examples of those tools?
Yeah, absolutely. So this all started with wanting to give you guys as much access as possible. So we want our channel partners to be able to act as close to a Provista salesperson as they could. So we've got tools that allow you to see the trends and drill down into trends by member type. So you can look at classes of trade. You can look at it at a contract level, a vendor level, a lot of ability to dive into larger data sets. So we've tried to make that really easy. We've also revamped our contract price activation tool recently and made some changes there to make connections a lot easier. There are business review templates that we have automated so that the channel partners don't have to waste time developing individual business reviews when they have to go out. They go in, they click a button, it pulls all of that back end data that we were talking about into a nice presentation so that you guys can spend your time doing value added things for those members rather than creating reports. So we've tried to take as much of the administrative burden off of you guys as we can. We've tried to make what administrative burden you do have a little bit easier, all so that we can spend more time driving value to those members.
And I would say you've been very successful in that. I mean, your IT team is fantastic. And then the synergy the IT team has with you and articulating that out to what's available to us has been tremendous. And I do think it's a value for all of the channel partners. So fantastic work, no question about it. Yeah. Austen, recently Provista held a channel partner meeting in Dallas. How difficult is it to put these meetings together? And could you give us a few highlights from that meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it is fairly difficult. Luckily, there's a team of us, and we usually all take a piece. Raina took the majority of that this year, my boss. And, you know, it's another opportunity that we take to make sure that the channel partners are as entrenched in Provista as they can possibly be. So we want you guys to be a part of us. And that's why we spend the extra time to put on those channel partner meetings. It is difficult. There's relationship stuff to navigate. There's always weird stuff, right? And we've also got different channel partners cover different classes of trade. So how do we make the content relevant for everybody? Can we do breakout sessions? Is there going to be enough attendance for that? Can we get the schedules to work internally, externally when we're doing suppliers or somebody from the contracting side, for example? So it is difficult, but it's always been worth it. This year we had a focus on the contracting side of the world coming over. So we had someone from construction come over to give us the full overview there and really open up opportunities that aren't really utilized by most channel partners. We had folks from purchase services come, and that covers a very wide range of contracts, but it was all in an effort to get outside of our bread and butter. Because for most of the channel partners, MedSurg and MedSurg distribution is the bread and butter. We all know how to do that really well. And at some point, you've got to go deeper than that, which MediGroup does a great job of, but we've got to give you guys the information and the tools to go out and get deeper and wider with these members, which is a benefit to everybody, not only to the member, but to MediGroup, the other channel partners, and even the distributors. When MediGroup goes into a customer and can be looked at as a solution to everything rather than a MedSurg distributor partner, then that makes McKesson or whoever your partner or whoever the incumbent distributor is a lot more sticky, because that member, if they're going to go out and bid, they're going to be talking to you guys so that you can work with the distributor to make sure that there's nothing wrong, or that if they are bidding, that they're in the bid process, whatever it might be. So it's all in an effort to get deeper and wider with the customer, with the member, to drive more value to the member. But then, to be really honest, we want to be sticky. We want to be the solution, and we want our channel partners to be the solution.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this, you bring back so many memories when I was at Med Assets and put together the alternate care committee meetings for the group of people that I was responsible for, and always a challenge because you had all those different classes of trade, long-term care in the room, ambulatory surgery centers, all the different, and not all of them necessarily meshed on everything. So it was fun, but it was always a challenge to make sure that you had something, a little bit of something for everybody to participate in and to have some input in. So well said. Thank you very much. Austen, we've made it to the last question. I told you this doesn't take that long, but you've been great and fantastic. So last question, what is a favorite hobby for you? I mean, what do you do for fun?
You know, I've got two boys and I've got another on the way.
Oh,
I'm a big family
congratulations.
man, so I appreciate it, Frank. I spend most of my time with them, so my fun has turned into watching them have fun. Sports is a huge part of our life, so we just finished up a long baseball season, a fun baseball season. We're rolling into some tennis and soccer here pretty quick, and already getting ready for basketball. So there's a lot of sports going on, which is part of being a boy dad, I guess, and having a bunch of boys. So that's what I do for fun. I hang out with the kids, and when we're not doing that, we're with the rest of the family. We're with their cousins and my brother and sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, or hitting the lake, just hanging out with the family in one way or another.
What is better than that? There is nothing better than that. Fantastic. That is really refreshing to hear. I have the same feelings about my family. I have two little great nieces, and they keep you quite busy. So I really respect, I'm not a parent, but I respect those parents, you, my niece and nephew, and it's really cool. That was a great answer. And family first. I always said that when I had a group of people. I know we got to get the job done, but family first. So I think that's really cool. Austen, thank you very much. This was a fun interview. You've been great, and it's good to catch up and see you again. And thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's not wait as long in between conversations this time.
I respect that. Thank you very much. Thanks for everything.
We'll talk again soon. Have a good one, Frank.
Okay, you too.
Thanks for having me.
See you.
This has been MediGroup's Frank's Fast Five with Healthcare Executives, produced by Bridget Wilson and Carrie Peters, and hosted by Frank Gillespie. Special thanks to Austen Wood, Senior Account Executive, Specialty Accounts for Provista. This has been a presentation of MediGroup Physician Services.